Of course, I got to mention real quick, Freddie, great linebacker from our era, the '84 football team, and of course, our quarterback Kevin White joining us, and down there in the bottom left of that screen, I see my man Pat Randolph. How you doing, Pat?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
We're doing wonderful. This is a good way to re-kick this off, 40 years ago with what you guys were able to accomplish and knowing what's going to happen here on Saturday. I couldn't think of a better way to bring the band back together here.
Oh, I'm telling you, we got some offense, we got some defense.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just I'm here in Morgantown right now, and I've been kind of bebopping around. I went and watched practice yesterday, and the juice was flowing, the memories were flowing, and that's why I wanted you guys to join up a little bit. And first, before we talk about what we're doing now, I want to go around the horn. Boom, I'll start with you. What are you feeling as we're going into this Penn State week as a Mountaineer warrior brother, man? What's going through you?
The same energy, the same synergy, the same chemistry, however you call it, man. I'm a Mountaineer. I just got good vibes about this one. I really believe that West Virginia, the Mountaineers, going to go in and definitely going to really, I don't call it an upset. I just think that this team is capable of winning. I'll call the win again. That's the way I'm going in. That's the way I'm going to cheer for it. And I really believe that there's going to be a big victory for this school this weekend. I really do. I really do. I just feel it in my heart.
I like it. Kevin, what are you thinking going into this game?
Tomorrow morning, about 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to get on an airplane. And I'm going to Greg Crawford, our old teammate's daughter's wedding on Friday. They scheduled on Friday so it wouldn't conflict with the game.
Nice.
And I'm going to get up about 6 in the morning on Saturday, and I'm going to drive to Morgantown. I got my field passes, and I'm fired up.
Yeah, baby.
I want to see you there. So that tells
awesome.
you right there what you're expecting,
Yeah.
right? That's beautiful. I can't wait to see you. I'm
Brings
looking
back
forward
a lot
to
of
it.
memories, man.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, what do you, just how you feeling going into this game?
Man, it's amazing. First of all, 40 years. I can't even believe it. Where is the time going? That's the amazing thing. 40 years. But I have the same feelings. I remember when we played that game and we were out at Lakeview and we had to wait around all day. That was the worst part of the day.
Yeah.
Waiting all day.
Yeah.
But
That anticipation, man.
the feeling I had then is the feeling I have now, watching this team go. And I got down to one practice earlier in season. Like you said, those guys had a lot of energy, a lot of juice. I'm excited to see this team play and do some things. I'm calling the win. I'm calling the win.
Yeah. Well, we've already seen one upset. Florida State already went down. We've already seen one top 10 team go down to Georgia Tech. Let's make this another one, right? Big noon on the Saturday. They're going to be there. The Pat McAfee's going to be there on Friday doing his show. The hype machine is rolling, and we're ready to get going. The energy that's going to be in this town over the next 24 to 48 hours is going to be electric, to say the least.
Hey,
like when you guys,
game.
yeah.
And guess what?
Oh,
And
couch burnings. What's going to happen?
That's what I want these guys. That's what I want to hear right now.
Yeah.
Because me, I've been flooded, but I got news for you, fellas. The '80s are a little hazy. I remember some things, but I remember things that I remember.
Yeah.
What just what do you guys remember from not just the week going into it, but what do you remember about that Penn State game that stands out? Go ahead, please.
I'll tell you, the thing that always jumps to mind to me is at the end of the game, then when Larry Hawley picked that pass off with about 35 seconds to go, and the offense took the field, and the crowd rushed onto the field, and it was bedlam. And I was kind of mad because I wanted that clock to run off. I wanted that finality of it.
We wanted that victory formation, man.
I wanted to take that snap and take a knee and jump, and the crowd was having none of that. And all of a sudden, I got a pat on my backside, and I turned around to Joe Paterno, and he said, "Good game, Kevin. We're calling the game." And he ran on to Coach Nealon and shook his hand, and that was the end of it. But I'll always remember that. I wanted to have that final snap, but it didn't happen. But it was still an incredible experience. My parents were fans. My brother, my aunt and uncle. It was the first time they'd ever been to West Virginia to see a game. So.
Yeah, I have to expected Joe's to be riding on the goalpost with everybody with the mohawk going up University Avenue or something up Sunnyside.
That was about 3 in the morning.
Oh, okay, yeah.
3 in the morning. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm with you. The energy, I can't. I've tried to explain to people what it was sometimes, and sometimes they don't get it. Pat, you got one of the top 10 most iconic runs in the history of West Virginia. 132 years we've been jamming the football, and you got one of the top 10 runs. Of course, old Scotty Barrows, my guard, my brother right next to me, leads the way. Of course, you kind of pushed him in the ass through the hole, right? And he knocked that safety on his can, and you broke out there for that big run. And I look at me, I got goosebumps on top of goosebumps right now, man.
No doubt.
And what went through your freaking head, man, when you broke that plane?
Well, there's 2 things that come to mind about that game. Of course, that run, and I never talk about this run without talking about Scotty. I mean, he was the guy. Okay, I don't ever talk about this. I don't talk about it a lot, and people bring it up, but Scotty was the guy. I mean, he just watching him do that, and the athleticism that big man showed. It's just crazy. And then people say, "Oh, well, Penn State was out of position." Bullshit. They lost. We were faster. We were faster.
That's right. And you know what? I got to say this. I don't mean to cut you off, but as a running back, brother, you always, you too, Kevin, in the huddle, you guys always gave love to us up front. Always.
No,
all right. And that's what made us bleed for you and give everything we could for you, because we knew daggone right well, we trusted that you guys were going to do your jobs back here. And that was the exciting part. So thank you for that. But yeah.
Well, I can remember the one thing I do remember, and then, I've coached for so long now that it makes a lot of sense to me. And when I look back on it, but I can remember in practice, and Kevin, you were there. So we go to inside run or do we go to team or whatever we did. You, Joe's and Scotty and Billy, everybody, you guys were so calm. You said, "Yeah, we got this. Just don't worry. We got this." There was no way that whole entire week, there was no way we were going to lose that game. The whole week. Everybody's demeanor and everybody's approach was it was calm, it was collected, everybody was focused the entire week. And then you go back to the next week after that, when we lose to Virginia, we didn't have that same focus. Of course, we lost a lot of starters, but we didn't have that same focus. But those are the 2 things that really stand out in my mind. Practice Tuesday and Wednesday was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Let me ask you this question. So, I've been going to Mountaineer games. My first game was in '87. I actually watched Major Harris play, and that day is whenever I decided I'm going to WVU. Right, I was 12 years old, and I just watched him leaping over people. I'm like, this is amazing, right? But how does it make you guys feel? Like anytime up on the scoreboard or anything, when they're looking back, they always show that 17-14 game, right? Us beating Penn State, that final, everybody rushing on the field. I mean, you guys literally made history. You are Mountaineer legends, and they still show that all the time. The sense of pride that you guys must have every time that comes up. Does that take you back, kind of like hearing a song, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember first time I heard that song? Does seeing that up on the scoreboard and things take you back to that moment?
For me, it does.
Instantaneously.
Absolutely.
Instantaneously.
I haven't been back to too many games, because coaching, I haven't been back. I think I've only been back to like 4 games. This will be my 5th game actually that I've actually sat in the stands and watched. Okay, so but I would get text messages and I get phone calls from people in the stands. Hey, they just showed a run on the board. They just showed every week. I'd get it every week.
Hey,
Amazing.
boom. Hey, we scored that touchdown, and that's all a big deal and everything. But defense wins championships. You got to stop them. You got to outscore them. So you got to stop them. Holding that number 18 Penn State team that year to 14 points was a big part of you and that defensive front. Talk to me, man.
Well, I mean, we were already prepped from the Boston College game with the same type of flow where the offense scored and go and stop Doug Flutie with the last few minutes. So it was like deja vu again. Now Penn State has the ball. And I remember the huddle. I remember exactly the plays that were called. I remember what Coach Brown was trying to tell us is that definitely because it was a hurry up offense, and that kind of like really confuses a lot of things. So we was going to stick with certain 1-2 plays, not to confuse anybody. We needed heat. Just bring the heat, bring the heat, bring the heat. But I remember in the huddle, man, the poise.
Yeah.
Poise. I mean, even though we just, the Preston had everybody, locked in, and he was calling plays from a distance. Nobody was breaking down. Nobody was really, overthrowing. Everybody was calm and smooth. It was like a perfect timing, man, because it's like everybody was definitely, like Pat Randolph said, we were already prepped. We just did this, the Doug Flutie, the Heisman Trophy winner. We just smoked him.
We knew.
And hey, we got these guys to sack, and we called Sikkim, and he called the greatest play that we run, that the 8 in the box, that no matter what happens, he's got to get rid of that ball in 2 drop, 3 drop, because back then nobody was sending 8. So he didn't have enough time, and that's what happened. We sent Sikkim. We had 8 come off the box. Me and Scotty came off the end. He peeped it, and he let the ball go too fast, and that's what caused that interception. He let it go, and Larry stepped in. But the greatest thing, that was not even the game. It was going down the sunny side, man, and seeing them people in the fire plus.
Wait a minute. Before Sunnyside, we'll talk about Sunnyside. Before Sunnyside, you talk about the poise and the belief. Late in the game, if I'm not mistaken, that running back, what was his name? DJ Dozier?
DJ Dozier.
He breaks through the middle, and he goes down the field untouched.
They had Minogue, Cleveland Browns. They had Stephen Smith, who blocked for
That's right. That's right.
They had DJ. They were that stacked.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying. They could have broke our back. They by scoring that touchdown, our defensive huddle could have said, "Oh no." But it didn't happen like that. When you guys came off the sideline, what was Danny Brown yelling at you? What were those guys yelling at you? You remember?
Knew what happened. We told Brown, don't call this play that he was calling. That's how Steve Smith got the second touchdown off the same call. So we're telling Brown, Brandon, we yell at him. That was it. Coach, don't run the play. Because we ran it, DJ broke it. All they did was let Brown. They let Brad come in and kick me out. He ran the play again, same thing. Steve goes with it, and we went to the sideline, we yelled at Brown, don't run it again. On the papers.
Did he run it again?
40-plus yard runs, too. Other than that, they didn't move the ball.
The play that Steve Smith scored on and DJ were the same play.
That's right.
It didn't work. It worked in Boston College. Penn State figured it out against us. They knew how to block it. So we told Brown, don't run it no more. Right in his face like that. Everybody.
But he didn't. He listened to his guys out there in the battle.
He didn't run it no more. He said he told the players, no, I promise you guys I won't call it. And Preston, if he does call it, I'm not calling it.
Yeah. Well,
he's out. He calls it.
Let's hope that, they say history repeats itself. So let's hope this year's Coach Brown listens to his players that's out there and sees things that they're seeing on the field, and they're able to make things happen as well on Saturday.
Hey, oh,
You know,
I want those guys
yeah,
to experience what we experienced when we finally got off the field. You know, Kevin, like you were saying, man, 30 plus seconds left. Paterno comes out waving the flag. Nealon went up to him and patted him on the shoulder, got in his ear hole and said, "Hey, get off my field. Take your team with you." Right? But the locker room, when we got back into the locker room, when you were walking back to the locker room, running back, I remember running back because I didn't want to get involved in that pandemonium.
the chaos.
But when you were running back to that locker room, man, what was going through your head? What were you thinking?
When you're a little kid and you like sports, you want that moment in your life where you play in the big game and have the big dramatic finish and your team wins. And you dream about that and you dream about that. So few people get to experience that.
No doubt.
Right.
This little desert rat and you guys and our teammates, that night we got to do it. And I'd argue we did it 2 weeks in a row with that win over Boston College. It was a pretty darn good win too.
Yeah.
And to have 2 weeks like that, come on. I mean, it's the stuff dreams are made of. We were so fortunate. I know Brian and I were exchanging texts about just what a great era it was for us to play for West Virginia Mountaineers. It really was a special, special time.
That emotion, that feeling. I remember sitting there, and we all got back in there and we're like, and we just made history.
Yeah.
We're going down. We're going down this thing. We're going to be part of the history of Mountaineer football. And what a special thing.
It has actually been history ever since. Yeah.
And if you recall, Senator Rockefeller, now that I think about it, he came in and he was in awe of us. I mean, he came. I remember he came and greeted me, and he was like a kid. It was an amazing experience, not just for us, but for everybody who was there, including the United States Senator.
Yeah.
As I was saying, I have no clue of what we just done. Joe's, you're from West Virginia. I didn't have no clue of the impact of what that meant to the state until I talked to a cop down at Sunnyside. And I said, you're not working tonight? He said, what? The last time I stayed, I was 3 years old. So I didn't know the impact. It's the only night I didn't even drink a beer because I saw the extravaganza, like what the people were doing. And I didn't even drink a beer. It was just, what is this? Because I'm a police guy, and I didn't understand what that meant until now, like just the history of it. Like, wow, this is what this meant to these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It truly does mean the absolute world. We were talking about that earlier, about even Missoula brought it up about the Seguman disaster and around the time when they were trying to go to the Final Four and how they really put it all because Huggins, hit on that, right? And how much it means to these people about what they're doing. And that's 120% true. Like it means the world, and to have that positivity throughout the nation, to have West Virginia finally associated with something that's positive. We proudly fly this flag all over. And we were talking about it. No matter where you go, if they see it, they say, let's go. And they wait to hear for it, right? So,
hey, real quick, I love the passion and hear you guys talk about, that Penn State game and that piece of it. But, after those two incredibly big wins, historical wins, obviously, send Flutie home, never beaten West Virginia, and then come out and knock off Penn State. Hadn't done that in 100 years. And here we are, and we lose to Virginia, we lose to Rutgers, and then we lose to Temple. Do you guys remember? And I mean, we had a great locker room, always did. But that was a challenging run, that 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the meeting when Coach Nealon came in and announced that we got a bowl bid, but you guys need to decide what kind of team I'm taking down there. We ain't going down to Texas and playing TCU for giggles. We're going to go down there and we're going to show what kind of football team we are, because we're going to go down there, we're going to work hard, we're going to be healthy, and we're going to play.
Remember that well.
You,
I remember that meeting well.
you give me your immediate thought as I bring that memory back up to you, Pat.
So I remember about that Virginia team was a sneaky, really good team. They were really good.
Right?
Didn't realize how good they were. We kind of, we had to let down, whatever you want to look at, however you want to look at it. But, Rutgers and Temple, both those schools had teams. They were better than they had been in years past too.
They were feisty.
Yeah. So for us to go in there, we were like their freaking bowl game.
That's right. We took their best shot.
Bowl game, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
We were their bowl game, and they played us hard, and we made some dumb mistakes in the Temple game, but we literally went from the Orange Bowl to the Blue Bonnet Bowl.
Yep,
In
we
2
were
weeks.
banged up. Hey,
Yep.
do you remember? Hold on,
Hey, Joe.
do you remember that meeting? At
About
that
that,
meeting.
Yeah.
And he dismissed.
Oh,
He kicked out the coaching staff, and it was. And he said, "Y'all captains, y'all make it. Y'all figure it out." And do you remember who the first one stood up and said anything? He's on the screen right now. Boom.
Yeah.
It was you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was you. It was that freaking street kid from Philly stood up and said, "What are we doing?" You remember that?
Yeah.
Give it to me.
We
I got
talked to him
goosebumps, man. Give it to me.
ago. We spoke to him about that, Joe. You remember he blamed himself because we were beat up, and he said, yeah, he figured it out that he knew we were beat up. Brad Hunt was beat up, Big Luke was beat up, Dave was beat up. Instead of those guys taking off that week, he practiced them, and they have it. They up front, Barry Ward was killing us. We just couldn't get that push that we was getting against Penn State because we had a lot of our front three was injured, y'all. They were not playing well,
Yep.
So, and Keelan did admit to it, as Joe's and I was talking to him the past couple of weeks we've been down there with him. He said he learned from a lot of his mistakes. He talked to us about things that he learned from.
Yep.
Praise God.
Well, I know one thing. They weren't ready for the Mountaineers when we showed up to play TCU.
Yeah.
That first half, that game plan, Kevin White dropping back and hitting Blue Mullins down the sideline on that play action. Boom. They weren't ready for that. They thought it was just going to be the normal 3 yards in a cloud of dust, right? But we turned some. Who was our offensive coordinator?
Coach
Was it Tranquil?
Coach Krasula called that game. Russ Jakes was the quarterback.
Russ Jakes.
But Coach Krasula called that game.
Yes,
called
he
it.
did.
That's right. He did, didn't he?
Yep.
Oh, that's just, man. It's just, I appreciate you guys coming on with me, and you guys are Mountaineer legends.
Yes, you are.
And that 84 team, 40 years ago. Sometimes I feel like Back to the Future, Randy, man. It's like a blink, and here you are all of a sudden in a time warp, and here we are 40 years out, and we still get passionate about it. We still love it. We're still Mountaineers, right to the core. I can't wait to see you guys this weekend, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow night, Joe.
Hey,
Thanks for joining us.
I want to say hello to Kevin White. I haven't seen Kevin since we left school. Kevin, hey, hello, how you doing?
I
right.
feel like
look at him. He looks like he's 20.
I see you all the time on Facebook. I follow you closely, and I enjoy every minute of it. You're
Just
one
want
of
to
my
say,
heroes.
say hello.
Hey, I love you guys, and it is true. To see your faces, these, except you, freaking Kevin. I swear to God, man, you look like you just stepped out of a GQ magazine. What the
You
hell?
gotta retire.
Man, you look pretty. Me and Boom, man, we're just old, man. Are we all 60? Are you guys all 60 or 61?
I'm
You
almost
do in a
there.
couple days.
Hey, I
Yeah,
love
Kev, you look like you should be on freaking Baywatch.
I'm
Hey,
trying to learn I'm trying to learn how to
Running.
surf. I've tried twice this summer and I failed miserably, but I'm going back again.
I love it. I love it. Hey, everybody travel safe. Everybody travel safe. I love you. Hey, let's go Mountaineers. Looking
Let's go
forward to it.
Mounties.
Joe's, I'll see you
All right.
tomorrow, man.
Hey, great seeing you guys. Great seeing you, Boom.
See you
All
guys.
right.
See you this weekend.
Patrick, great seeing
Yeah,
you.
go. Peace.
See you.
Randy, everybody, blessing.
Little
See you
General
on
Store
Saturday.
knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100-plus stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
Hey man, I don't know about you, but it was pretty great having those guys on the
What?
podcast here with us. I mean, that's amazing. It's and like you said, it gives you chills looking back at some of these stories and reliving the moments, those little moments of just bringing all that stuff back. And again, talking about that 17-14 that you always see up on the screen.
Yes,
And
sir.
those guys had integral parts of making that happen, along with yourself,
Oh.
obviously. I mean,
We all did.
yes.
We all
Yeah,
had a hand
yeah,
in it.
right.
And, you know, again, Randy, what those guys are really talking about, you know, the feeling going into that game all week long, there was a swag, there was a confidence level that
Yeah.
we're not going to lose this game. We are going
Right.
to find a way to win. And,
Yeah.
you know, the night before that game, as we did all of our home games, we bust out after we did our walkthrough at Mountaineer Field. We bust out to Lakeview and we hung out there. And we always watched we'd have team meetings and breakdown meetings, and then we'd all get together with blankets, pillows, and we watch a movie together.
Oh, really?
Not that
Oh,
not that night.
Oh.
Coach Nealon came in and got up at a podium and basically made us visualize the game. And we all laid there and he basically painted the picture and he called guys out.
yeah.
You know, envision yourself making the big play.
Right.
Envision yourself, Freddie Boom Smalls, flying up barrel and sick 'em and getting the
Yeah.
stack.
Right.
You know, forcing the turnover, picking off the interception, Larry Holly, the end of the game, that kind of stuff. He
Yeah.
called these guys out. He called us all out.
Yeah.
And we believed so strongly.
Right.
And to see these guys today
Yeah.
and be part of that, man, and reminisce on that is just something, man, it's special.
Oh, yeah.
It's special.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Special.
Yeah.
Speaking of special,
Yeah.
I got to talk about Little General Stores.
Oh, yes.
Little General Stores. Greg Darby, you know, he owns Little General Stores, and they're, of course, they're all over the state of West Virginia.
Yes, they are.
And I can't say enough about these guys. First of all, joining forces with Mountaineer Legends pregame, Fat Boys Media, and of course, you guys here at Trilogy, coming to you live from the Trilogy Studios.
I mean, in live in
right?
Cheat Lake.
Right
Yeah.
here, baby. And
right.
but you know, you can't do it without a team of people. You know, it takes
It
a
always
village
takes
to
a
put
team.
something out
Yes.
there, right?
Yes.
And I think we got the pieces in place. And
Yeah.
and Little General coming on. You know, first of all, Greg Darby's got a heart the size of this state. All
Yeah.
right. He's so involved in all of his communities where all of his stores are, constantly giving back. In fact, there's a great program right now that is Little General that's started off, you know, with Dale Wolfley
Yep.
and Jeff Hostetler, and of course,
Yep.
Greg Darby's love for the kids. And right now, at any store, kickoff for the kids, you go in there, you buy a football, they put it up on the wall, you become part of the team supporting
Oh,
WVU Medicine
Oh,
Children's.
that's
Man,
awesome.
it's all
That's
about
really
the kids.
awesome. Yeah.
Thanks, Greg, for being part of that. Little
Thanks,
General,
Greg.
you guys do something really special
Right here,
for
baby.
the kids right there.
Yeah.
Little General, which is right here. By the way, I mean, Little
Yeah.
General's a big part of our golf outing, our
Mhm.
Legends golf event that we do every summer for Children's Hospital. He supplied these great tumblers this year. Got me and Coach Nealon on there. The iconic picture of us hugging each other in an embrace, and of course the Joswiak Legends golf outing. But Little General, right there, Little General. Thank you. I'm telling you, we couldn't do it without you. And I appreciate you, Greg. I appreciate LG. It's where I stop for my fuel and convenience needs. when
Yeah.
I'm here in West Virginia.
There
And
you
again,
go.
hey, stop in, support, buy one of them footballs for the kids, all about the kids,
Yes. Love it.
always.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm really excited about the future of this and everything that's been
Me
happening.
too.
And again, hearing those stories, we have other big names coming up here later. Again, we're going to be in Pittsburgh here in just a couple weeks.
Couple weeks.
It'll be here before we know it. It's like the
Hey,
football
go up there
season.
2-0.
Oh my God,
What
that
if we
would
go
be
up there
amazing.
2-0? What if
Yeah.
what if?
Yeah.
Huh? What if?
All I'm going to be hearing is Sweet Caroline playing all over,
Carolina, oh, baby,
all
right.
over in the tailgate
Hey,
area.
so if you're in Pittsburgh,
Yes.
you got to come to the Sheraton Station Square, right across the street from the stadium. We're going
Right.
to be in the lobby. We got some big names coming in. Of course, Randy and I will be there.
I mean, that's the biggest you can get.
Of course. Well, maybe you, but not
No,
me. But
no.
anyway, and then we get Daryl Tallies coming in, Big Mike Fox, defensive lineman, great lineman. Hell, between the two of those guys, they got 6 Super Bowls, right?
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
come on now. And of course, the legend, the college football Hall of Famer, Major Harris, is going to join us.
The mage.
You know, Freddie Smalls, we heard, is going to be in town. A lot of boys
Yeah.
are going to be in town.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
all going to get together. We're going to gather in the lobby. And
Right.
at 10 o'clock sharp, while you're having your Bloody Mary and your Danish,
Yeah.
you're going to sit there and you're going to listen to a heck of a show with some really great Mountaineer legends join us. And again, I can't
Yeah.
thank you enough
Oh,
for being a part of
absolutely.
this, Randy.
Yeah, thank you for including me. I don't think we'll even need lighting. We'll just use all their Super Bowl rings.
Heck yeah, right?
Put all the lights in there. But no, honestly, thank you so much for including me as part of this. Like, growing up here in West Virginia, I'm just honored to be part of the Legends podcast and being able to get this out there.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Mountaineers.
That's right,
Let's
baby.
go.
We'll see you guys here in about 3 weeks.